everybody, we are making candles for Christmas presents today. And what I did is I bought this at the Dollar General. And it said that it was microwave and safe. So I felt like if it was microwave safe, then it was safe enough to put candle stuff in it. So maybe the Christmas present won't crack wide open with a candle burning in it. But that was my synopsis. That was how I come to this decision. Is I decided if it could tolerate the microwave, then it could tolerate a candle. So, and then I have a repurposed jar. This had peppermint wax with peppermint in it, but it wasn't very good. I don't know where that came from. I can't remember. And then I have these jars, and these jars are jars that have been used and washed, and you can see that I believe somebody sent me some jelly in this one, and they have been washed and they're all clean. And when you're doing I think it would be fun to leave the ring on and put a ribbon around it, but leave the top, this part, off. And on some of these, like this one has rust on it, and it's got an old sticker label. But if I use this one, I've got lots of lids in the kitchen. I just grab these on the fresh jar washed shelf in the hallway. Whenever we wash them, we'll sit them in there, and then we'll fill up a box and take them out to storage. So in any case, these have just been washed and are being repurposed, which is cool. And everything. So we're going to make candles today. And I thought to myself, y'all might be thinking, well, how do I decide how many ounces of wax to melt if I just want to do one candle for somebody and everything? And I was thinking it over in my head, because I want to make candles like one for my mom, one for my dad, just different stuff like that. And I didn't want them to all be the same. And that means I'm not going to just fill this thing up with wax and just pour them all up the same. So I thought, what I need to do is I need to figure out a way to measure just enough wax for each candle if you wanted to do it this way. So what I thought we'd do and before I start that, if you would take that tie off, Dottie. Oh, by the way, this is Dottie Fry. She lives close to me, and she came up to participate in today's soaping day and got hornswoggled into videos. But what I was going to show you is I haven't tested one of these yet. This is the floral, and I sell these on my website, and that's www.essential-soaps.com. So www.essentialsoaps.com. If you go to Google or any search engine and type in essential soap, I'll be the top thing that pops up. And so you don't have to worry about the dash and getting it just right. Anyway, so this is wax tarts in a clamshell. Oh, they smell pretty good. This is geranium and rosemary and lavender. It is our floral tart. And now this is a tart burner. They come in two ways. One-piece units, or they come with this little separate dish. And it has a heating plate right here. And if you see where they have holes in them, then usually there is some type of a light bulb in there. And then also, but what's nice about it is when your wax is all done, you can take this and set it in the freezer for just a couple of minutes, and then literally just turn it upside down and the wax just pops right out. Yeah. And so that makes it easy for cleaning when you have the ones that has the separate dish, because some of them are one-piece units. And then there's also the little tea light one, where you know those little round white candles, and you light one and tuck it in there, and then the tea light heats up your wax. But this is one I bought at Yankee Candles and the Hamilton Place Mall. Meggers, isn't the mall in Chattanooga the Hamilton Place Mall?
Yes.
Okay. And so what you do is you press with your thumb and just let one of the little tarts pop out. And here you go. There's one of the little tarts, and you just sit it in there. And I did reseal your clamshell, and I made these to sell on my website. I have the floral, the citrus, the giggle, the sinus, that's to clear your sinuses.
And it works.
Yeah, and it works. How did it work for you?
It works, and 2 of my friends have tried it and they love it.
Yes, I love it. And there was one more. Oh, and a spirit lifter. I did my spirit lifter. And so you can find those on my website if you would like to purchase, but we're also going to talk about how to do these. And this is the clamshells. I bought this from Peak Candles. And they sell them individually. And I already have a video on YouTube that you can see me making all of the ones I made, including the recipes of what essential oils I put in and how much. And if you go to www.kimberlymcnut.com, that's www.kimberlymcnut.com, and that'll get you there. All right, now just hang on. I'm going to let this melt, and I'll bring you right back, and we're going to start making our regular candles. Hey, everybody. I snuck in on you, didn't I? All right, I just wanted you to see how that this tart has melted so beautifully in the wax burner, and it smells absolutely heavenly. Oh. And so that is one of the things that you can do is make those wonderful clamshells. I highly recommend peakcandle.com. So now I'm going to set this over here out of our way so we can make candles. Alright, so this is what I was thinking, is to tear out your container, and then if we're going to have some air involved, but I was just thinking if you just wanted to make one candle, you need to know the ounces so that you can know how much fragrance or essential oil to put in there. So I figured if you pressed it down a little bit and filled it all the way to the rim, when it melted and the air disappeared, it would probably be down about the right level. So I'm going to press it down a little bit more and put just a little bit more in there.
And what are you using there? What is
that?
That?
This is advanced soya wax from Peak Candle, and it's the pillar wax. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this in here, and I've teared out the metal container. Okay, and so now it says 4.4. Now this being a half of a pint jar, I don't know what they call a half of a pint jar, except for a half of a pint jar. There you go. So I know that a pint jar holds 8 ounces, and so this should hold 4 ounces. So I think I did pretty good, 4.4. But now on this container, we don't have any ounce information. So let's say you had a container, just one that you'd used, and you wanted to repurpose it. That's an excellent way to find out how much wax you need. So it's 4 ounces, and it is an ounce and a half of fragrance per pound. So we'll have to do the math on that to determine how much fragrance we can put in this. But I want to do 2 of them in a male scent. And let's see, so I'm going to be, let's see, this one here looks sort of, but this one here, let's see. Well, actually, that I have 4 men, because see, there's, yeah, so I actually could do 4 of these in a scent that would be great for men. Matter of fact, I wouldn't mind doing 2 more, because there's 2 more people, my father-in-law and my brother-in-law. So I think I may go get 4 more jars of this stuff, but we 2 more jars. So we will have enough jars. So I'm gonna go get some more jars, and then we will put all of our wax wax in here, and I might just do a whole pound. But we will tell you how to do it individually if you needed to. So, we're going to be right back. Okay, everybody, now this is how we're melting the wax. You can see it goes quite quickly. Let me bring you up. There you go. And you just put it down, and you put it down in hot water. I got my water just ragingly boiling, and then I cut it down to medium because you don't want to burn your wax. If you burn your wax, nothing you do to it after that is ever going to make it better. I have been told. And you can break it up with a spoon so that it melts faster, and it melts though really, really quick, especially after it melts enough that you can break it up and stir it. And you can just leave your spoon right down in there. Okay, all right. So now we're going to go back into the Essential Soap soundstage and finish up these candles. Okay, everybody. All right, so I went and got some more jars, and here's some that even has a decorative little fruit label on them, and that's what all of these had originally, I think. And so this is the jars like this. The ones with fruit on them is some that here's one that I bought. So some of them have been gifts to me, or I've bought things in them, but these are some jars that I bought brand spanking new and whatnot. And it has a little place for a label, and I don't know if any labels come with the jars. They might have. In any case, we're going to do these, and see, we will just slide this over, and we're going to need of them, so we need 2 more. So I'll let you get the lids off of those. And I'm doing these for Christmas presents, and I have got my 8 ounces of wax all melted. Now, there are some things about these candles, the candle wax. When you go on to peakcandle.com, or it might be peakcandlesupply.com, it's one of the two. When you go on there, whatever wax you pick, it tells you how hot you need to get it. If you get it that hot, it doesn't glaze on the top as bad or ever. I don't know for sure. And the glazing is like a light glaze look to the top of it when you look at the finished product on the top. For these, I didn't care, and I had to get it at 130 degrees, or this plastic container could melt. And I'm telling you, I just really don't care if it glazes or not. These are Christmas presents. I'm not that ticky. So I did not worry to make sure I got it that hot, because it's a lot of extra work. I'm not selling these candles. And then I have to wait for it to cool down. And I'm just that way. And I've got to get it below 140 degrees to put my essential oils in. So I don't care if it glazes. But there is one thing. Once you pour your candle, you have got to come back and pour some more in, because you'll get a little sinky look. Because when you put a candle in a container like this, when it completely hardens up, sometimes it'll make a hole right in the center. So you've got to make sure that you come back and refill. And so we want to save a little bit of our wax for that, or make up some more. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that as we're going. Now, what I thought we'd do, because as I said, I'm new to candle making and whatnot, and I didn't buy the cute little metal thing that holds the wick perfectly straight. And I thought that the candle might move, so I thought that I would take some Christmas tape and do something particular here. I thought that I might take some Christmas tape and slightly put it off center. See that, Dottie? It's not directly in the center, it's slightly over. And then again, do that again, just slightly off center, so that this point right here is about the center. And then when I put my candle in here and everything, then after I pour my wax in, I can take a little piece of tape and put it from tape to tape to hold it still while it goes.
Good.
So that was just KimberlyMacNut.com and Ninjaduity. Good. I didn't buy those fancy little metal things. You just sit there on top perfect and it holds your little wick perfect. Because I really wasn't sure that I would ever sell candles. I knew I was going to sell clamshells, and that doesn't require them. Or a wick. So, alright. But these are Christmas presents. Okay. And so I'll use this right here. I might as well. And we'll need our scale. And Dottie, see, these are our containers. And so let's get the rest of this stuff sort of slid out of our way just a little bit. And we're going to need 8 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. We'll need our tape. And I'm making this too, but I'm making that in a minute. Alright. We'll need these. So we can drop one of these. And you drop 4 of them in yours. And set these aside. And we got to do the tape on it.
You probably need to straighten
Yeah,
this
but
out.
just pop them in there for now.
Okay.
Alright. And then,
I need one more. Yep, here it is.
oh, okay. We'll get those over here. We've done 8 of them, which came out to 32 ounces or 2 pounds. And then we added an extra 5 ounces. An extra 5 ounces just for in case. And Dottie did the scale on that. But what we need to do now, Dottie, is we need to see how hot this wax is. And so I'm being smart this time. I covered my pretty tablecloth with the whole thing with the old grungy ugly towel. I know, it looks terrible. But it's been being used in the soapery, and so it's stained. Alright, can you see what temperature that wax is? Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this tape thing. So I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to put it just slightly not in the center. And then I'm going to put another one to where this little X is about in the center. And this one here we had washed. And so it's a little wet around the rim. So I'm going to put some Christmas tape around the whole thing because I have a feeling that one there was going to jump loose on me. And so now you can see that that has put our candle wick to where it'll be held in the center. And I'm now going to straighten my wick. And I got the wicks with zinc cores. And I can't remember why I thought that was best, but I did. And
This is at 140.
it's at 140? Awesome. All right, we can do our essential oils now. I just got to get this tape on here. And we can do our colorant. All right, so oh, where's the wick for that one? That one there, I didn't get, yeah, got to get it in the center. Slightly off center. And then do the second one where the wick will then be in the center when it's sitting up there. Straighten our wick and put it down. There, you do one, buddy. I'm sort of hurrying because I don't want my wax to get below 130 if I can help it. And I should have had these ready already. And Megan, are you needing something?
Yeah.
Sort of? Okay. All right. We're going to be right back with you. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
We are working on our tape, and we're beating Speedy Gonzalez's. No disrespect to Speedy. And we have got one more to do.
Is that one close enough?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, I think I forgot. I got to straighten my wick.
Yeah, straighten your wick.
Straighten your wick,
Straighten
baby.
your wick.
Baby, get that wick straight. There we go.
Up, Kim.
And that one there, I didn't straighten. And y'all are gonna have to overlook my dirty fingernails.
Here you
I was working with stain, and it's permanent because I didn't wear my gloves. And I'm gonna try to bleach them or something. But right now I look like I have really dirty fingernails, and I'm sorry.
Let that be a lesson.
I know. Wear your gloves. Wear your
Let that be
gloves.
a lesson.
It was just this little touch up, you know.
Are we doing this little short one?
No, this is for our
Are we
essential
doing a
oils.
cup?
No, not with this one. But we will, but just not yet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Now let me set these aside, and we are doing these in a men's scent. And I thought that clove leaf and sandalwood and cedarwood would be nice for men. So we've got we've got 2 pounds of wax. So that means we can use 3 ounces of essential oil. So I'm going to tare. I'm going to put an ounce of Essential Depot cedarwood. I'm going to put an ounce. I just totally went crazy there. Okay, well, I'm going to put 1 ounce of cedarwood to start. Okay, now Essential Depot don't sell this. This is Artemis sandalwood, which is a substitute for sandalwood. It's also from a tree and smells a lot like sandalwood. And so I'm going to put an ounce of that. And I think it's like $46 for 16 ounces where I bought it. With any essential oil, they go up and down with the seasons. Okay, so we have 2 ounces, an ounce of each. Ooh, that smells heavenly. Okay, now I thought that a little bit of clove leaf would give it a spiciness. Yeah, and so I'm going to try a half an ounce first. I don't want the clove to overcome the woodsy. So that's why I didn't put just an ounce. Do you think it could use another half an ounce of the clove? Or I should put more woodsy and the clove is good?
I smell mostly clove.
You smell mostly clove? Alright, so let's put the sandalwood is less, the cedarwood is less expensive, I think, than the sandalwood.
This is a Georgia nose. That's an Alabama nose.
So I'm going to put the rest of it in the cedar wood. So that would be 1.5 ounces of cedar wood, 1/2 ounce of clove, and 1 ounce of sandalwood. And this is sandalwood essential oil. It's just, I'm so used to calling it sandalwood. When I first purchased it, I called, and the lady told me that it was derived from the root and the trunk of the sandalwood tree, and that whenever this company here, where they get it from, that they come in and harvest the roots and the trunk, and they were making this essential oil from it. Well, and that's what the salesperson told me. And I called back again, and another woman told me that. And then I called back another time because they'd changed the front, the page, and what they were calling it. And this lady said, no, I don't know why that ever got started. She said, it's Artemis, which is it's a substitute essential oil. It is an essential oil. It's from a tree, but it smells almost identical to sandalwood. You can't afford real sandalwood. And I got some clove leaf on my mouth.
Yeah.
And so I'm going numb. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because clove leaf will numb you. Okay. So, and we've gotten this down to the correct temperature, but we got to decide about our colorants. And for the men, let's see, mauve, eucalyptus, purple, no, orange, blue. I sort of think I'm going to try a mix of the mauve and the orange and see what happens. So let's do 2 drops, 1, 2 of the mauve. Okay, my battery died again. What it is my good battery did not get fully charged, and I've been charging up the weaker battery while that one was charging, and you trying to use it, but it gave out again. I'm going to have to throw it away and buy another one. But in any case, I had to have 2, one on the charger and one in the camera to make these videos. That's just all the way it goes. So anyway, so what I did is I put 3 drops of the yellow and 2 drops of the burgundy mauve in our 2 pounds of wax, because I didn't want a real dark color. The essential oil has a brownness to it from the clove leaf. So I think that this will make a nice color that men will like. It won't be too girly. And Megan, would you hand me a spatula? And we've made sure our wax is under 130 degrees. And we're going to pour that in. And you've got to just stir, 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 stir on your color. And I got this color from Peak. I think it's peakcandlesupplies.com. And so now we're going to put in our essential oils. And you want to make sure it's under 140 degrees, but not much, because you want to pour it at least by 130. And as I said, with candles, if you look at Peak, it tells you how hot you need to get it, what temperature you need to pour it at. But as I said, I didn't really care too much, because I'm going to refill them. I don't care if they glaze slightly. I'm not selling them. I'm making this for gifts. All right, so they're just lucky to get something.
That's right. That's right.
And so I'm doing it like I do for the clamshells, which is at least 130 degrees. I know it did fine with those. All right, so I have stirred that good, and now I bought this. You can pour directly from this little pour spout, but I bought this from Brambleberry for making lotion, because it pours real easy. And I think that this is going to be, and I know it's been awesome for pouring the tarts. And so, yep, this is going to be just as awesome for pouring the candles. And I think that's right at that first little ridge. And now I'm going to take my tape, and I'm going to put that there, slide it over into the corner, and do that, and then set my, try to get it centered as best as I can, and I'm going to set this aside, and you must not touch it now. We got to come back in just a little bit though. When it hardens up, and refill any cavities that form.
That's a pretty color.
It is a pretty color.
Pretty color. Looks like peach jelly.
It does. And I got it just to the little first rim on the canning jar. And then I'm sliding it over to where it's centered, then raising it up and sitting it as best I can in the center, and then moving it over.
How long will these take to set up?
Well, because they're much larger than the tarts, and it is my first time to make candles out of soy wax. I've done it with paraffin, but I have never done it with soy wax. I don't know.
Okay. Work in progress.
Yeah, that's a good question. And when you put the tape in, the little bottom tries to kick over to the side, so you need to lift it and straighten it again. And then once you do that, you don't want to jiggle them. You gotta leave them alone till they're ready. All right, so let's get the rest of our wax. I have just done 3 of these little boogers, and I don't think I'm gonna have enough wax for them all. I thought I measured well, but it looks like we may have to make up some more.
That's a neat little...
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's neat, that little... What do you call that? Funnel? Measuring cup?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my candle wick bent at the bottom, so I just pulled it up and touched it to the plastic and lightly lifted and straightened a little bit. And when you weighed it out, it came to 2 pounds 5 ounces. That's weird. Maybe these jars are bigger than we thought. I had this same problem when I was making the clamshells, learning exactly how much wax to put in there to get the perfect measurement. We'll try it with one of these and see. All right. Because I have got 3 more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I did 4 times. I did 8 times. Let's see. Calculator. Might have been my math. I'm calculator dependent. 8 times 4 equals, it didn't get the 8. 8 times 4 equals 32. That's 2 pounds. 16 is 32. So, matter of fact, I don't think there's enough to fill this one. But, and so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and fill it to the level that we can.
How do you clean this stuff now out of there?
Just soap and water. Hot soap and water.
Soap and water.
But I will tell you, the actual candle wax itself, these things, if you get that on your counters or your sinks, it will not respond well. All right, so what we're going to do, that's 4, 8, 4, 8. I'm going to just do 12 and see, and we'll finish filling these up, and then I'll bring you back because we're going to do more candles. Okay, everybody. All right, now we have gotten, I heated up 1 pound, and so with that, we'll do half the recipe we did before. So I did a half of ounce of the clove leaf, So I can figure that up in grams, but I'm not going to freak about it. And so I'm going to do 0.3.
That smells real good.
I love clove leaf.
I like cloves too.
Clove bud is more pungent, but I like the leaf. I have both because I use both of them in a soap. Wouldn't you know? I'd use just a touch too much. Is this thing freaking on me or what? There we go, 0.3. Okay, and then I used an ounce of that, so I'm going to tare it, of the sandalwood, so I'm going to use a half an ounce. And I'm going to buy more because I'm out now almost. Got a little residue on the bottom. Alright, and then the cedar wood, I did 1.5 ounces. And so that would be 3/4 of an ounce. Okay. Alright. Let me see that little booger. That was my stir too. We were double teaming. What temperature was the wax?
140.
140? Alright.
Well, let me see. No, let me do it again. Let me do it
Alright,
again.
well the color in it, his color is okay. I think
You jerked that away from me there.
No, we're fixing to hit 160.
Mm.
Okay, well, we can go ahead and put our candle color in. I don't remember anything about it having to be so. And so now we did 3 orange and 2 mauve. So I'll do there we go. No, I don't want that much. There we go, a little bit in. And we'll see if we come close in the color. Maybe we will.
Nobody will ever know.
No, because they're just getting one candle.
That's right.
So they can't compare it to somebody else's. Only place where I might have trouble is this candle I had filled.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. We'll tell them we did it on purpose.
That's right. Just swirl it.
Isn't that pretty? Look, I had to work hard to get that to do that.
That's right.
Okay. And this stuff cools fast, but I am stirring it extra, but you have to stir it a lot with this candle color because you have to absolutely make sure that you've got it down to the right temperature. And it is too hot. So we'll just sit her over there and let her cool, and we'll talk about the next one we're going to do while we're waiting. And so now what we're going to do is, oh, heaven to Betsy's. I got candle color on my hands, which seems to come off your hands pretty good, but it don't come off your sink worth crap. So don't get it in the sink. I bleached and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed. Put this on there, tear it out, get us the wax. This one's perfect.
What was that you said?
This one's perfect. Alright, so and we have to know how much we've got, otherwise we don't know how much fragrance we can put in it or essential oils. And so that's why it's important to measure what you're putting in. Okay, so it says here that I have got 1 ounce, 0.2 is the way I'm reading this, but I'm going to change the mode over to ounces, and it says I have 12 ounces. So that says 12 ounces, and 16 ounces is what we would use for a pound. That's easier to do on the fragrance. So I'm going to do 16 ounces when I do this, and then if I have too much, I have too much. I'd rather have too much is not get the scent ratio right. And I'm sure I could do the math, but I'm calculator dependent, and I'm not real good with math. So we'll set that over there. And let's see how we're doing on our temperature. Do you know where we put it? There's where we put it.
Cool in here too.
I got the window up over there because them heat lights.
Yeah.
In the Essential Soap sound stage that we are currently sitting in, we have these big monster light bulbs that are blaring down on us. Have you batted your eyes a few times? Yeah, I've almost got used to it. And that is so that you can see us. And when the sun is not shining, it's still a little darker, too dark for the video. I've got to get more, but it makes you sweat and it's hot. Okay, it says here that we're at 150, and we have got to get down. I put essential oils in soap at 160, but if I remember correctly, it was 140 for essential oils in wax. So we shall wait and stir. Oh, I know. I can pour it over in this because the pan here is holding heat, and I can mix my essential oils into it in this. And that will help cool it down because the metal is holding the heat in. I think swishing these things helps. Dropped it down immediately because this was cold, and we're in a hurry because we got to get some more in that one there. When I was in Yankee Candles, I smelled this scent, and it was called White Sands, and it just smelled woodsy to me. It smelled like this with a little bit of cinnamon. And there was somebody in there, and I said, "Smell that," and they said, "Oh, it made them think of the sand and the smell of suntan lotion." And so I decided to go with the cedar wood and the sandalwood with a little of the clove leaf. knowing that the clove bud is more overpowering, more pungent, and I didn't want to overdo it with the clove. So that's why I decided to do these 3. And I like it.
It's good. It smells real good.
Mm-hmm. Get you a fresh whiff of that. I like it.
Enough to drink.
All right, so we'll bring this over here and hope for the best on the blend. And I think I did pretty good on getting it the same.
Looks good.
Oh, well, actually, because it had already hardened up, I won't need to put any tape on that one.
Oh, that's right.
Let's see, this one's got bent.
I got this tape down right now.
I know it.
I mean, I got this.
She was having severe Christmas tape issues. There is a lump under that table right there. Something's under there.
Now you have to save some of this for the indention?
Yes. And so that's what I'm going to do now. Is it's supposed to make an indentation according to everything I've seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put this back in the water and get it hot and pour it in here, and then I'm going to leave this wax in here. Then I will reheat it when these are dry, but I'm going to just leave it in this one. And waiting for the thing, waiting to see what happens. And I'm not going to let you miss out on that. I'm going to bring you back. And let's see. It's 4:04. So y'all can keep up with the time. I'll tell you what time it is when I finish. But it's 4:04 right now. And so then I'll tell you what time it is when it's hardened. So I ain't going to be able to keep up with it otherwise. All right, so I'm going to heat this up. We're going to wash this container, and then we're going to do mix. Okay. Bye, everybody. Just stay with me, though. We ain't done. Okay, everybody. I have tared out my container. I washed it with hot soapy water. I'm putting my wax in from my container. Still measures 12 ounces on the dot. And I am going to bring that up to a pound. Oh, that was it.
Good deal.
Oh, I found with those others, when I was wanting to do a pound, it was good to just put a few little extra ounces in there. Okay? And now I'm going to go and heat this. And Dottie, I might get you to wash this up and dry it real good. We'll measure our essential oils in that.
Okay.
And we're going to make it. Okay, everybody. All right, now we've heated our wax. We've got to do our essential oils. And we're doing patchouli. And we're going to do, we've got a pound, so we're going to do 1.5 ounces. And yes, that is expensive. Patchouli is expensive, but we don't care. All right, so we've got that. We've got our extra, which I need to order 5 or 6 more of these. These are the most awesome thing. They come from Brambleberry. And what temperature are we at?
We're not quite at 140.
Okay, well let's go ahead and pour it up in this thing.
That should get it.
And that should get it.
I'm still buying up utensils for all this stuff, all my things. I keep thinking something else I have to have.
Yeah, Dottie came to our essential soap convention. Next year we might do soap and candles.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see.
Does she have a favorite color? Oh, smells what we're at.
Yeah, this is for our colorant. And I think I'm going to do the bayberry eucalyptus, which is a green color. And I'm going to do 2 drops of that. And then on the mauve, burgundy mauve, I'm doing 3 drops on that.
That's pretty light drops.
And let's see what color we get.
Pretty.
Yeah. I sort of thought I'd get a reddish color, we'll see. And it's got red on the apples, and I don't have any red. I didn't buy red. And so there you go. So there's our thermometer. All right, it's below 140. Yeah. And so we'll go ahead. Megan!
Too much time for your plate.
Megan! Do her like the deaf people. Megan! No, she can't hear me. All right, I've got to go get a spatula. Oh, we got a spatula. She's got her earphones in. So here goes our patchouli, 1.5 ounces to 1 pound of wax. Patchouli, patchouli, patchouli. And so this makes a giggle candle, because patchouli is a natural euphoric. And so it automatically makes it a giggle candle. Yes, ma'am. I like patchouli with peppermint in it, but she likes patchouli with patchouli in it.
I got the message.
All right, so right here. Oh, I need to get my wicks out. We can't do it without the wicks. And so, I'm going to do, as you suggested, a double.
That'd be pretty.
And so, here goes nothing. And so, I'll show you what I've done here in just a minute.
Get a whole bunch more candle smell, right?
Huh? Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've made it like a 4-lane highway with our wicks on what you might call the yellow line in the center. And now I'm going to make an intersection.
It's getting late in the day.
I know it. I get goofy after dark.
Uh-oh.
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 Let's see. There we go. Okay. And then I'm going to do one on this side. And I think I'm going to make really sure that the wick is not really close to the outside edge for heat purposes. Okay, so as you can see, our wicks are trapped to where they are here, but I've got places to pour. So let's stir this. Now, we wanted to make one of these, and so this is how you do those, to the best Kimberly knows. We've stirred this up, and we pour it in, and we fill all the little cavities, and then we just give it a little bit more, just to where it's just past the ridges. And then we're going to put the rest of this in our candle. And I think we'll come out with a real pretty burgundy color, which I think really looks good with the apple design that's on the front. And you know what I did?
What did you do?
I forgot to save a little bit in case we got a cavity. So I'm going to go get a spoon and get a little bit out to heat up. Because, yeah. So, hang on. Okay, now I could pour that out the side. But that wouldn't be... It would make for me to have to clean a lot. And I don't want to have to clean a lot. So I'm going to make me a little... I'm going to take some of the tape that's now not needed loose. And on these... What you do when you fill these little clamshells up is you fill up, once it comes up, sort of like with your ice trays, you fill it up and you want it just below the little clamp. But with this, you fill it up just past the edge. And then you've got to sit it somewhere where it will be absolutely still and be still the whole time until it's completely hardened up. And I feel silly that I forgot this. But it'll be easier on the cleaning up on the edges of the candle if I just take it out like this. So all I'm doing is just taking out some that I can reheat later in case I get a cavity or a hole in my candle. You know, when we make mistakes, we can teach others. And so this is a good way for you to say, hey, Kim made this mistake, but this is what we're going to do to fix it. Is we're going to take a little bit out. And it will mean that I'll have to clean the edges of my candle. And it really don't matter how much you take out because you're going to put it all right back on the top as soon as the candle is completely hardened up and you see if you have a cavity. If you don't have a cavity, you can still pour it right on top. In my opinion, and you know, and so that you're filling the candle completely up. Okay, I think I have enough. So I think that's enough to fill any cavity that forms. Okay, and so the other one we must have set in there somewhere. But I've got some saved for these, and I've got some saved for this one. Plus, we've got our little clamshell tart made, and this is how I make candles. Now, I bought my wicks at Peak Candle Supplies, and you can go on their website, and there's a page that you can read about each type of wick and decide which one you like. And then all of their, and I highly recommend the liquid colorants, because it's so easy to just drop a little dot. The others are like crayons and you have to chip them off and stuff, but it's just so easy with the drops. And so far it has came off my hands easily. And they're not real expensive and they'll last you for years and years and years, in my opinion. And then I bought this and it has been so useful and it was not that expensive. You might find something at a flea market or a craft store, but you want this handle like this so that you can sit it over the edge of the hot water pot and it can't get away. So you do whatever you get, you want to make sure that you have a way to keep it from wobbling in the water. And I'm using essential oils because I don't respond well to fragrance, but if you would like to use fragrance, it is still 1.5 ounces. For this particular wax, it's the advanced soya pillar wax that I bought. And the lady said that now this was recommended to me by someone who does this for a living. This is what she sells for her living. But the actual Peak Candle Supply recommended the basic because they thought it had a better scent throw for tarts, for clamshells. But they were out of it at the time, and they wouldn't be back in it for 2 days, so I'd have to wait 3 days for my order to be shipped. And I was in a hurry. And so I didn't want to wait. So I went ahead and got what had been recommended to me, but I may buy that next time and compare and see what I think. So in any case, did you have any questions?
No. Enjoy it. Enjoy doing this. Enjoy it.
She's got to rush home because she's got critters to take care of. What kind of critters you got?
Goats for making goat milk soap, a mule, and a big old Great Pyrenees dog.
Oh, you're going to have to, you need a partner for him in crime, don't you?
Yeah.
I got this cute little girl out there.
No.
No, her mama is part wolf and German Shepherd.
Wow.
That's the mama to the mama dog.
Uh-huh.
And then the daddy was Great Pyrenees.
Wow.
And there's one that came out with that Great Pyrenees hair, and it's the champagne color, and it's so sweet. Anyway, she don't want a mongrel. But in any case, it would be cute. Partner in crime. It's a little girl. Anyway, my son let his dog have 1 litter of puppies, and then she's getting fixed. But all right, so anyway, so we have had so much fun, and I'm going to be bringing you back, but now Dottie Fry here is going to head back home so she can tend to the animals. She's got a 45-minute drive. But I'm going to keep bringing you back and showing you the candles and telling you what time it is so that you can tell. So when you go to do it, you'll be able to sort of know what you're in for and tell you and show you what happens too. And right now, we just did that one. It is 4:31. And some of these, they look like they're really close to being solid. So we'll see. And on our temperature, we waited till it was 140 degrees, in between 130 and 140, to put our essential oils in. You don't pour the clamshells till it's at least 130, no lower, no higher than 130. And with these, once you put your essential oils in, you can just go right with the glass at 140 and pour it in. And remember, they say that they will glaze over, and to prevent the glazing, you can heat it to a certain temperature and then let it cool down. But these were Christmas presents. I'm not selling them. But if you're going to make things and sell them, and you want to try to prevent the glazing, I've also told you can take a blowtorch or a heat gun and just lightly heat the top, and that will take the glaze off. And then not a blowtorch, one of those little bitty torches, like the little bitty ones, not a great big torch.
Like for making desserts.
Yes, for browning the sugar, just the little bitty torches. And you can heat up the top and or heat your wax to the desired temperature that the company that provides it for you will let you know. All right. So thank you so much for watching my commercials. It helps me out tons. Thank you for going to www.kimberlymacnut.com. It's a free resource page, but it's got all my links on it, so you can find our Facebook Soap Chatting page. You can find my links to Essential Depot, and thank you. If you're going to buy something from Essential Depot, they have awesome essential oils and different things. If you would use my link, I so appreciate it. It helps me out bunches and bunches. All right, everybody. Say bye to YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Okay, it is 4:47, and I have no resemblance of a cavity forming in these. These are the two that was done last, which are hotter, and these look pretty solid, but I know they're not solid in the middle, so I'm not going to take the tape off. And this is that candle. Okay, guys, it is 4:59, and our tart is solid, but I will still not close it because it's still slightly warm, and you can tell it's very soft. If I touched it, I'd get a fingerprint. I want to leave those excuse me, completely open until until tomorrow, and then close it. And as you can see, this is what's happening with our candles. These are now starting to firm up. And this one here doesn't look to me like, just a little bit around the edges. And so there we go. And I have no hint of a cavity yet, but one may still form, so I'm ready to go if it does. I've got my extra waxes waiting. Okay, everybody, this is my extra wax. I scooped it out for this pillar candle, and it's just starting to get solid on the top. And this is our Tart, and you can see the light glaze that you get with those. And you can see a little bit of glazing on this one, but I'm not seeing much of a cavity. Just a little bit is forming, though, right in the center. These are the two oldest ones, youngest ones, and so they're not solid at all. But this one here, as you can see, it is good and solid. Smells absolutely delicious. And this is our extra wax that I will heat up and pour on the top. I moved them, which is a no-no, but I had to because I was making some more clamshells over here, and I had to clear off the table to get that done. That's my sinus clamshells, which are selling out. I think I had 3 left, so I had to make some more. And so I used up the last of my wax, so I've got to buy some more wax tonight. I'm going to get online and order some. So I'm going to keep you posted on these and how they're doing, and then show you when I put the next layer on. So just stay with us, and it is 6 o'clock. So I think we started this around 4. I can't remember now. I told y'all to remember because I wouldn't. Okay. Okay, everybody. This one has gotten a good little solidness look about it, but you can see it's much darker in the center under the tape, so we can't move it yet. This was good enough to close up. That's our extra wax for that. And so now let's talk about these. Okay, can you see that light glazing? I'm going to try to wiggle it around. Maybe even turn it. There, now you can see it. See that light glazing? That is what they were talking about that can happen. And to try to reduce it, you can you can bring it up to a certain temperature, was my understanding, and they talk about that on peakcandlesupplies.com. And then also, and you want to make sure that you don't pull on your wick, you can see a light cavity has formed. I'll get that where the light's showing on it. There you go. Now you can really see it. Just a little one. So once these here that are the fresher ones, once they get completely solid, I'm going to be extra careful pulling off the tape that's touching the wick. Because you can see if I wiggled that, it's still soft right there in the middle. It's darker colored. And so I'm going to go ahead and take all of the tape off. And then I think I'll go ahead and trim my wick. And I'll show you that. And then I'll bring you back and we'll see about putting some more on. Okay. I am laying my scissors flat on the top and cutting my wicks, level with the top, and my scissors could be better. Okay, I can then trim these some more if needed, but that gets them to where I can add the extra and know that I'll still have wicks sticking out. And so now I'm working on heating the rest of the soap to put in here. So I'm going to take you to the kitchen. Okay, this is the soap kitchen stove, and my water is just warm. And I've got the little handle here, and so I am putting this on here. But I've got to be really careful. I'm going to pull my eye over so that this plastic is not sitting directly over the eye. And I may have to get let's get a couple of wooden spoons here, because I want to make sure that it don't float around and this set directly over the hot rim of the eye and melt this little tip right here. And so now the water's not boiling yet. I do have it on high. This is plastic, so I've got to be cautious. I've got to stay right with it. If it gets to rapid boiling, I'm going to turn it down because I do not want to melt this container. And so when you do this, I've got lots of water in the pot, about that much, about halfway up, and I'm going to stay right with it and make sure this doesn't sit directly on the bottom of the pot. It's floating, and keep a close eye on it because we do not want to melt this little container. Okay, everybody, I have heated the wax, and I made sure not to heat it higher than 140 because my essential oils were already in there. And I have let it cool because if I put really hot wax on top of that, it's liable to melt a big hole into into the candle. And it is just under 100 degrees. It's in between 90 and 100. And when I put my finger in that, it just feels, lightly warm, and it's, as soon as it gets by itself just a little bit, it's solidifying easily. So I think that's a good way to go. I'm going to put this over here. And so now I'm going to start applying a thin layer to the top of each one, just enough till it comes to the rim, and hope I have enough. But if I could, I'm just putting enough that I can, this one here, there we go. I'm just putting what you might call a top layer. And I'm being careful not to touch the wick with the wax, so I don't have what you might call a waxy layer to touch the wick. Oh, and I am just barely making it. And the last little bit is solidifying. There we go. Wow. Just barely had enough. Phew. Okay, so, and I did touch the wick on this one. I'll have to clean it off. I don't suppose it'll hurt, but it would be nicer if it wasn't. And on a couple of them, there's like little mild air pockets where it doesn't touch the side, so I jiggled it a little. Maybe that was the right thing to do. It looks like the right thing to do to me. Okay, so now this should not have a cavity form. And I'm telling you this, it's the Peak candlesupplies.com advanced soya pillar wax is what I'm using. And the candle videos that I saw where they were doing pillars or doing larger candles, and a larger candle than this one, it so made a big cavity. I mean, it was like this deep, a hole in the middle. Oh, this stuff smells so good. But the clove is definitely coming out in it, and it might be, when it burns, it'll be perfect. But it might be, I wish I pulled it back to 1/4 of an ounce instead of 1/2 ounce on the clove. But you cannot say it does not smell good, and because it smells awesome. Now it could be Now, clove is liked by men. Clove, eucalyptus, cinnamon. It's a smell that men generally love. So a little cinnamon clove smell is a very good thing for gentlemen. So this woodsy touch of clove candle, I think this is going to make wonderful Christmas presents. And then I've got a label to remove here, but then I'm going to put the ring back on here so that it has that little metal ring. And then I'm going, and of course I'll clean the edges if need be. And then I'm going to put a ribbon or some kind of little decoration on it, maybe some Christmas ribbon or something. And these here will be all done. Okay, now I have put the large candle in the freezer because I'm getting tired. Oh, and the time. It is 6:55. So, and I have, so I believe that it should be ready. When I put it in the freezer, it immediately, the center went, and I got this big cavity. And I seriously think that that is from the freezer. The freezer immediately made it go clunk in the center. And I don't really think it would have made that big of a cavity. So I'm going to get that one out of the freezer and let you look at it. And clean up my mess and all that good stuff, so I'll bring you back. Okay, what I did with this is, you saw that pot of water that I had the plastic one in, and well, what I did was I poured all the water out of it except for just enough to come up on this glass like this one, and I just set it in there. The eye was turned off. Nothing was, no water, no heat under the water, and I just let it slowly melt under the heat that was already in the water. And this stayed in the freezer, and it was still good and liquidy in the center. And I put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes. And then what I did to cause this to chill faster is I poured it directly from this, that is, I poured it directly from from the one that had been down there in the hot water. I poured it directly into one that was just room temperature. And I found out as soon as it gets to where it's congealing, it's not good. And this one here is right at 80 degrees. And I'm just going to pour it on the top, and then I'm going to rotate it around and hope that it levels out appropriately, because it did get a good little cavity in the center. It looks nice and level now, and I couldn't tip that when I did it, but I'm going to bring it up here and let you see it, so hang on. And it is 7:08 p.m. Central Time. And you can see that big cavity that's got more of the liquid in the center. And here these are after they've dried. I did heat up the residue and add a little bit more to this one because I somehow just didn't get as much in it in the first place. So all the little scraps that was in that little plastic container that hardened back up, I reheated those and I poured it in that one to fill those up. And when this wax is hot, the sandalwood just hits you hard, and the cedar wood. So I think these are going to really smell great. So because of the big cavity that was there, and I was trying to get this in quick, I'm going to trim those, trim the wicks after it's done, hardening up completely. I'm not going to put it in the freezer. This one, because I was in here for so long working, this one here, which also goes with this, you might say it's going to be part of the gift basket for Megan, which is my employee, and that's why I was going, shh, it's for Megan. Anyway, and so that is her tarts to go with this. Oh, and this smells like major patchouli. And you can see this thickened up. Main thing, you just don't want to pour hot wax in here. You pour hot wax in here, it's just going to make a hole in the center. Alright, and these are looking all good, but I'm not going to touch them. I'm going to let them completely solidify. And then I also made these, and you can probably see that little glazing on the top, and but I'm not worried about it. And these are room temperature, but I'm still going to leave these off for another few hours, so probably till in the morning, because I'm tired and I'm going to my part of the house. This is the soap house, and I'm going to my recliner and load all this video and stay up till who knows when, until the video's finished processing. So anyway, so I made these. Just takes minutes, guys. Just minutes. These are the eucalyptus and lavender and sorry about that, guys. That video, that one battery just don't last long anymore, and it went out. So this is our eucalyptus and lavender and camphor and peppermint tarts. And these will fix you up, let me tell you. And I've nearly sold out of them, so I had to make more. And it just takes minutes. And there is a video that shows the recipe, exactly what I do on this. You can find it on my website, KimberlyMcNutt.com. That's www.KimberlyMcNutt. And you can see the video. It's on the front page, but there's also a link on the left in case you come there, and that video has already been moved off the front page and others have replaced it because I put the newest ones on the front page. You can go to KimberlyMcNutt.com, and there's links on the left, and it probably says candles and tarts or making tarts or something of that sort. I can't remember what I put, but it's definitely not soap, and it will be in the bottom series of links, and it'll have all these tart videos and candle videos on that page, and you can see them all in one place, and you can see the recipe, exactly what I put in those. Okay, all right, so this is looking good. These are looking great. So we are done for the night. Phew. And thank you for watching my commercials. I know there'll be one at the beginning, the end, and the center, because that is what I make off my commercials keeps me being able to spend money and time and effort to make these videos. So thank you for watching those. I know you would just love to hit the skip ad button. Anyway, and thank you for hitting the like button and liking this video and my other candle video. Also, if you're interested in putting barcodes on your products, I have a video on where to buy your barcodes and how to add them to your labels. And blah, 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 blah. Love you. Bye. Hugs.